I thought maybe a video would help me or help you help me. This is a 2019 Bounder 33C, a Class A, so a very popular model that these locks would be going on. I've had some trouble and I've called tech support. You guys have been helpful. Got installed and I thought I had finally got it where it was working fine, but then it started malfunctioning again, where it locks me out and I have to use the key to get in. And it's in the motor part and the deadbolt, because I can use the key to open it. It's not binding. Everything's lining up with the door jambs and the hole that the deadbolt goes into, and the DOT latch works fine. What seems to happen is there it's locked, it's working fine, and then so you can see how the knob's only going halfway back. Other times, for days on end, it'll work fine. It'll go full in and full out, so there it locks, and it generally locks fine. So there it went back in. So the time before it malfunctioned and only went halfway back in, which means the door won't open. That time it went full in like it should. So I'm just at a bit of a loss about where to go from here, because you can see now it's working fine. So see how that only didn't quite go all the way? So now it's still working. So I'm trying to get it to malfunction again. So this is what happens. It'll go for days. Oh, there it went. So there, see, now it's not going back in. So it just went back and forth half a dozen times perfectly. And then all of a sudden it goes halfway in, which means I can't get the door open without the key, which kind of is the point of a keyless lock, not to have the key somewhere. I mean, I do have an emergency one hidden, but like I said, it just seems to be sporadic. So before I take this whole thing apart, which is not easy to get apart and back together and all that, to try to troubleshoot it further. And you can see this is loose. This is not, there's even tension on that. I mean, it's not tight. Yeah, so there's working again. Oh, now it's gonna malfunction, I think, because it didn't go all the way out. Now, see, that's working, that works. That's closed or open, and that's locked. It's when that bolt doesn't go all the way in on the unlocking phase where I have issues, because then it doesn't clear the jam. So any help you get me with this intermittent part would be helpful. Figure out what we need to do. And again, it's the DOT latch works fine. No issues there, no binding. It's never malfunctioned. The keypad works great. It enters the code and locks and unlocks and everything just fine. It's something to do with the motor actuating the deadbolt, and it never fails to lock, but it fails intermittently to retract the deadbolt the entire way.